we are. I just left my car. I'm on the Grubb Ridge Trail right now, just taking off from the Blackwell Horse Camp where my car is. And it is just impossibly beautiful out right now. Perfect. I know that the first day of spring was a whole month ago, but man, in my heart, this is the first day of spring. There's been a lot of unseasonably cool weather lately, a lot of spring snows, but it is over and spring has begun. This is gorgeous. And all the spring flowers are coming up. There's violets here, and I see some rue anemone, and the May-apples are springing. The shrubs are starting to get green. The redbuds are popping. Oh, it is good to be out in the woods again. Look how wide open this is. I really enjoy walking in the woods at this time of year before all the leaves are up, because there's so much visibility, you can see so much. I love being able to see through the woods, and yet there's still color. Well, not right here so much, but I've already walked through all kinds of different flowers and plants just springing up from the year. Here we have a dryad saddle, Polyporus squamosus. It's edible, but not very good. Oh yeah, it definitely has the distinctive smell. That's definitely what it is. I'm not gonna take that though. Going down from this ridge, Grubb Ridge, we are going down some switchbacks right now that eventually we're gonna have to go back up on the other side somewhere. I think there's one more ridge between us and the lake, so there's going to be a little bit of uphill here in a little while, but the trail's not bad at all so far. It's been relatively flat. Ridge walking is just super easy and kind of nice after all of the difficult ups and downs that I'm usually doing when I'm out in the woods. It hasn't even been too muddy or horse poopy yet. Well, made it to the first intersection, the first trail sign that I've seen. I am not going to take this Hayes Trail. I don't want to go to the Hayes Trailhead. It's just a dead end. The Grubb Ridge Trail is what I want. It looks like there's going to be a stream crossing up here, I think. I'm in this creek bottom right now. It's really pretty. There's new flowers down here. There's blue-eyed Marys and some trilliums. And that's all I see right now. And then I'm going to have to go up the ridge on the other side, I think. I'm going to have to check my map here. There is my map. I am right there. The cave is right there. I started all the way down here. I've already made some pretty good progress. As I was sitting on this log here, I looked down and I found a spring beauty. So I guess if I'm starving to death out here, I can dig up some fairy spuds and eat those. This is Saddle Creek. I'm trying to find a place to cross where I don't have to take my shoes off, because I'd like to avoid that if possible. So I think I'm going to do this right here, and hopefully not get my foot soaked. How green it is out here. It's so green. These are buckeye trees. Buckeyes are one of the first trees to leaf out in the spring. So look how green it is. So what I'm doing right now is trying to find this cave. I think it's called Patton's Cave, and I think I'm on the right trail for it. There was supposedly an intersection back there, but I didn't see it. But I do think this is the right way, because I'm kind of like halfway or 3/4 of the way up this ridge, but just following it parallel to the ridge. And the creek, Saddle Creek, is down there, and I think that is my first sight of the lake. I think there's a little inlet of the lake right there, and pretty sure this is right where I want to be. And it's still beautiful, and I haven't seen a single person yet. This is another thing I love about this time of year. You can see the blue sky through the canopy, and yet there's also green. Cold water. Sharp rocks. Turns out I was wrong about something, because I just now did the Saddle Creek crossing, I think. So something threw me off. I think where that sign was that said it's pointed towards the Hayes trailhead, I think that's what screwed me up. Because I don't think that's where the map shows the Hayes Trail intersecting with the Grubb Ridge Trail. So something happened. It wouldn't be the first time that I was confused about where I was. So I guess I'll let you know when I figure out exactly where I am. Okay, I figured out what happened. At some point, near where I sat down on that log, I hopped onto the other side of a loop without knowing it, because the trail I wanted to stay on is not marked. And now I'm on another unmarked trail that is closed to horse traffic that I think will take me right up to the cave without having to do any backtracking. Either that, or I'm going to get horribly lost. We'll find out. Very flooded in here. That's probably actually a good sign. That means I'm in the right spot. The cave is up that way somewhere. See how rocky this is getting? I think that's a good sign. I think the cave is nearby. I hope so. This trail is rugged, and I'm hungry. Alright, so maybe my navigation skills aren't quite as bad as I thought they were, because this is going to be the top of the cave over here. And I just found the intersection for where I want to go after I'm done checking out the cave and taking my break. As you can tell, I'm really out of breath because it's been pretty steep uphill, pretty rocky stuff. I am ready for a break. This is nice. There's cedars up here. It's been all hardwood so far, but I know there are little cedar and pine patches. It's over there. It's not easy to climb down to it. Oh, it's also kind of slippery. Wow, look at that. Holy crap. Whoa. All right, I need to eat, but I also really need to explore this cave. So here we go. Patton's cave. It is very wet right now. Wow, very wet. Holy crap. Wow. Oh, God. Wow. Oh, man. Oh, it keeps going. Look at this. I don't think you can see it very well, but it does keep going back there. There's water coming out of here. And I could crawl back in there. And maybe I would if it was dry. But it is very dark and very wet. And the ceiling is very low. So I'm going to leave that alone. This is my snack. That summer sausage has been taunting me in my pantry for about 2 months. Time for me to get the last laugh. This is my view for lunch. Pretty damn good view. Pretty good summer sausage and Gouda cheese too. Gotta love cave Gouda. Figured out what I did wrong on my map earlier. Maybe I'll explain it later if I think I have enough battery. I'm on course now though. I'm gonna rest for a little while longer here. And then I've got somewhere in the range of 3 or 4 miles left to do to get to the end of the peninsula where I want to camp tonight. And I think that's doable. It's maybe 3 o'clock right now. I got a bag of water straight from the cave. It's got a lot of important minerals in it. Could probably bottle this and sell it for $5 a bottle, which wouldn't be worth it. It would mean I'd have to haul it out of here. You know, it's hard to beat lying on a rock in the sun, drinking cave water from a bag. That cave water is pretty good. Oh man, this is nice. This is a nice place. I could take a nap right now. I'm finally off that Grubb Ridge trail. I have about 2.5 miles left to go, which is pretty nice. I can see the lake now. I don't know if you can see it, but not really. Down there is the lake. That away is the peninsula, and that's where I'm headed. I've made it. I've made it to my first night's destination. Tip of the peninsula in Lake Monroe. Now I just have to find a nice place to camp. I just walked by a lot of campsites, trying to pick the one I wanted. I think this looks good enough. I have a gigantic fire ring. I can hear the sound of the water. I'm gonna have a nice sunset right over the water right there. And there's nobody around. I am relaxing in my chair right now. I have a nice fire pit. I have a table. I have two tables. Two tables over there. I have a beautiful view. I have a couple hours before sunset. I'm just gonna relax. I am not really hungry yet. After that nice second lunch I had at the cave, I'm just gonna sit here and relax for now. Oh man. Well, I decided to start a fire. There's a lot of driftwood around here. Some of it's even dry. So I'm gonna have myself a driftwood fire tonight. There's my seat. My seat has a back. My tent's still down there. That still looks like the second flattest spot in the area anyway. And I guess this is gonna be my kitchen over here. There's my food, my cook set. Over here is my boots and socks that are giving me blisters today for some reason. I've been talking up these darn tough socks for the last year, and today they're giving me blisters. I don't know why. I guess maybe it's the... I've never worn them. Well, yes I have. I don't know. I don't know why. The boot sock combination today is just messing my feet up. So I have to keep an eye on that tomorrow. There's something in the water. I think it might be carp. It's either carp or it's some kind of lake monster that's gonna slither up to my tent at night and get into my sleeping bag with me. It's probably that. No, it's carp. I forgot to mention my mileage for today. I'm not exactly sure. I did, I think, at least 8 miles today. The maps aren't marked very well, and I didn't have time to go and mark every little segment on my map for its mileage. So I think it was over 8, but not 10, somewhere between there. Good morning. Night number 1 went pretty well. It got a little chilly, but I slept pretty well, especially considering it was night number 1. That looks pretty good. There's breakfast right there. Trail again and probably use my map and compass to find it. And I'm not even sure that I will. It looks to be, might be a challenge to find it. I guess I mentioned yesterday that I'm getting pretty bad blisters for some reason. I never get blisters, but something about the combination of boots and socks that I'm using giving me blisters on my toes. I've tried all 3 pairs of socks that I brought, and they're all about the same. I had to take off my boots a little while ago and wrap them up. I didn't have any moleskin with me, so I found a microfiber cloth in my camera bag and I cut that into pieces and then used band-aids to wrap my toes with them. And I was really dragging for a little while there, thinking about how many more miles I have to do with blisters on my toes. And then I thought about something that Joseph Campbell once said that made me laugh and feel better. Joseph Campbell used to be associated with the phrase, follow your bliss. And allegedly, later in life, this might be apocryphal, but allegedly he said, I should have said, follow your blisters. Which I think is a much better guiding principle in life than follow your bliss. So when I remembered that, I laughed. And it made me feel a little better. Maybe I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what I want. Axum Trail. Today has been all ridge walking so far until I hit that Axum Trail intersection. And now I'm heading down again, which is good because I am just about out of water. I'm running low on that stuff that I filtered from the lake last night. And the lake is the last time I've seen any water, really. Aside from a couple little trickles in here. These blue diamonds mark an old trail. And if I can keep following them, they'll lead me right to the cabin. I might be in trouble here. I just followed that, and it dead-ended in a flooded creek. You need to get on the other side of this creek. I do know that for sure. Okay, I made it across the creek, and there is an established trail over here that looks like it's going uphill, which is exactly what I need. So that's good news. We are at another one of these trail signs pointing me this way. I think that's trying to keep me off of the Blue Diamond Trail. That's where I'm going to go tomorrow, I believe. That, I think, will take me to the cabin. Although I haven't seen another blue diamond since that one I showed you. It's all flooded again, which I suppose is to be expected when you're on a floodplain. This is a lot like yesterday when I was trying to find the cave. I keep finding the trail and then losing it again, but as you can see, I have found it. There are carp spawning like crazy in here. Look at that. There was somebody here. A couple guys were camped out. But they went home, so let's explore the cabin ruins. There are a lot of Dutchman's breeches growing in the cabin. They're called that because they look like a little pair of breeches. I can almost camp in here. So here's what I've got going on tonight. My camp is down here, and the cabin is right there. could maybe camp inside it. There's probably just enough room for my tent, but it's kind of dirty in there, and I'm worried about broken glass and stuff. Over here behind me, where the sun is setting and glaring horribly, we've got, well, the lake is in that direction. This is like the flood water that I had to navigate through to get here. There's a bunch of carp in there, and there's geese landing. A lot of interesting birds out here, actually. And that water is kind of stagnant and carpy, so I was hoping I wouldn't have to drink that water. But the guy that was here before told me that if I follow the stream in that direction behind my camp, I'd find some running water, and I did. So there is nice, cool, clean running water back there that doesn't taste like carp. But I'm pretty beat. I'm not going to do a whole lot tonight. I'll probably go to bed early. Hopefully my feet are feeling better in the morning. Hoping a lot of time off will help. While those guys were packing up camp, I was just laying in my tent, resting my feet. For dinner tonight, I'm going to try something a little different. This is dehydrated buffalo chicken that I made. It's another thing that's been sitting in my kitchen for months. I'm going to cold soak this because I don't really feel like eating anything warm. I'm pretty hot. So these tortillas, terrible idea. They're all falling apart. This buffalo chicken though, oh, it looks good. It looks like it's supposed to look. Unfortunately, I can't make a fire in there. So the fire is there instead. If I sit right here, I can see my tent through this window. Down there. And over here, I can see the floodplain. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the buffalo chicken was really good. I need to make that again. I have more, actually. But I ate all my tortillas. What was that? Did you hear that? I think it was a carp. Drawing up a battle plan for tomorrow. The battle plan for tomorrow is going to depend on how my feet are feeling tomorrow. I'm going to stay warm tonight. Good night. Good morning. It's about 8:30 here. And I'm still in bed. Because I'm in no real rush today. I stayed pretty warm last night. Just this morning, a little bit of a chill kind of creeped in. It wasn't too bad at all. This is my view this morning. I'm hungry this morning. I'm gonna have bacon and eggs. And there's what it looks like after. That is a little bit more appetizing. I'm just hanging out and exploring the ruins one more time this morning before I head out. Like I said, I'm not in any hurry. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I am going to cut off the Sycamore Trail from my route. Originally, I was going to do that. Now I'm going to cut that off just because it's too bad for that. So that is going to save me about 5 miles. Still planning on doing the rest of my route the way I had planned. And it's going to be a beautiful day for it. It is nice out here again. And probably a little bit cooler today. I don't think it's going to get quite as warm. Yesterday was hot. I'm headed out for the day, finally, after a long morning at camp. There was a Brown County wildflower group that just moved through. They're in the wrong spot for that, though. They should be over at Saddle Creek. That's where all the real wildflowers are. My plan for the day is just to walk as far as I can. I'm going to be out here one more night, I think. That's the plan anyway. And I'm just going to do as much as I can today and camp wherever I end up, and then do the rest in the morning. Another stream crossing. I've done about a dozen of these already. Well, I'm back on the Axum Trail. So I'm back at the part of the Axum Trail that I diverged from yesterday to get out to the cabin. And now it looks like I'm going to be doing some climbing. I have to get back up onto the ridge. I believe that's Terrill Ridge up there. And after that, I'm going to head south. And before too much longer, probably by about noon, I'm going to be at the trailhead, not the trailhead where I parked, the trailhead with the fire tower. This appears to be an old roadbed. There are lots of signs of previous civilization out here, not just that cabin. I've seen a lot of like old foundation stones, some old property markers, and there are these old roads out here. That cabin actually isn't as old as it looks. I think it's from the mid-1900s. It's only, I don't know, maybe 75 years old at the most. It's not really ancient ruins, even though it looks like it. And supposedly there are old wells out here. There's probably all kinds of interesting stuff to find if you go stomping through the woods. Well, I'm off the Axum Trail now. Made it to the Terrill Ridge Trail. If I go that way, I would see the Terrill Cemetery, which I would like to see, but that's going to have to wait till next time. I am headed south instead. Look at this trail. This one's an old road. It's kind of nice after doing all that bushwhacking. Unfortunately, it's only going to last about a half mile. Not even a half mile. It'll be over soon. Here is the Hickory Ridge Fire Tower. I'd like to climb it, but I'm not going to do that right now. It is very crowded. Popular day to come out here. I will have to come back and climb that fire tower at some point. But for now, I'm moving on. I had a nice little sit down and break there. Look what I found. A huge morel. I think I'm going to have to take it with me and add it to my dinner tonight. That morel turned out to be too old, too buggy, too dried out, which is unfortunate. So the morel was bad. But morale is good. I feel good today again. And ever since leaving that fire tower, I'm now heading back in the direction of my car, which is a good feeling. Since this morning after I left camp, I was still moving farther away. Right now, I think the car is only maybe 8 miles away, somewhere around there. And I don't plan on doing all that 8 miles today. My blisters also have stopped hurting. My ankles still hurt, probably from walking through all the mud and over all of the roots and stones in the trail. It has not been a very even surface. So that'll do a number on your ankles, especially when you're wearing boots like the ones I'm wearing, which ultimately were probably the wrong choice. But oh well. Now I know. Crossing the road. crossing Tower Ridge Road, going on to the south side, and down into the hollows again. I'm gonna find a way to hop across this creek. This is one of, I think, 3 hollows that I'm going to come down into and walk out of today. This is my last chance to bail out on some mileage and take a shortcut. But I am not going to do it because I'm still feeling pretty good. I'm on the last segment of trail now. It is about 4.5 miles back to the car right now. And I'm just going to try to do a couple more miles here so that those are miles that I don't have to walk tomorrow. Every step I do today is a step I don't have to do tomorrow. But if I do see an ideal campsite anywhere from here on out, I'm going to take it. It looks like it's going to be at least a little while before I find another ideal one, because I am going to go down into another hollow, as I knew I would be. I think this is the last hollow that I'm going to go into. The day is wearing on, and I am still hiking. I've been looking for a campsite for the last little while. I haven't really seen much yet. I think there's a designated campsite coming up in just a little bit, and there might be people there already, but I'm okay with that right now. My blisters are starting up again. I'm ready to pitch camp for the night. Look at this forest though. Oh, I made it to camp. I'm camping in the pines next to a little pond with a lot of giant bullfrog tadpoles in it. And there's a couple other guys here. So it looks like I'm going to be hanging out with Trent, Chris, and Ben tonight. Which won't be so bad. I could use some company after spending 3 days by myself. But I am just glad to be sitting down, to tell you the truth. That is the most important thing right now. Well, good morning. It is just about 8 o'clock here. The other guys just moved on for the day. I'm all packed up and ready to go too, but I thought I'd hang back for a minute and say a few words. I had a really good night last night. We just hung out around the fire and talked about backpacking and mushrooms and music and whatever else came to mind. It was nice. And it got chilly last night, so it was nice to have a good fire. I got down to about freezing, I think, last night. But I managed to stay pretty warm. I felt pretty much the same as I have the last couple nights. It didn't seem to make too much of a difference. Even though it was about at least 10 degrees cooler last night. And it just feels good this morning. It's chilly, but I like it. It's nice to be up in the morning in the woods when it's cool. And I'm off on the trail. only have a few miles to left to walk today. A few miles to the car. I would still like to check out the lookout tower, the fire tower, after I get back to my car. So I might try to get back with time to spare so I can do that. Here comes another creek crossing. I think that's the last one of the trip. I'm going down into, I think this is Cope Hollow. This is the Cope Hollow Trail. And I think we're finally going down into Cope Hollow. I've been walking above it on the ridge for a long time. Yesterday and today. Finally gonna go through it and up on the other side. And run into some mud on the way, it looks like. Here's one of these geodes that are all over the place out here. Oh look, another creek crossing. You know, something I've realized is every time I say there's only one more creek, or one more hill, or one more mile, I'm wrong. Every time. So, if you ever go hiking with me, keep that in mind. I see the glitter of cars through the trees. I am just about there. Only a few more steps. I'm in the car. Oh, this feels good. It's always nice to see the car at the end of a hike. I'm gonna go check out the fire tower. Made it to the top of the tower. Thought I'd give you a view before I go. And I also wanted to thank you for watching the video. Thanks for joining me on this latest adventure. I hope to do this again. I think I should go check out that water tower. I think I should go check out that, I don't know what it's called. I can't really think straight this morning. There are a lot of Dutch, I can't say that word. I'm gonna have to continue burying my trash and pooping in my backpack. This is stupid. How am I doing this? sounds in the woods.